The governor of Imo State, Okorocha, has been speaking on the need for Nigeria to remain one united country. Governor Okorocha, who was speaking in Owerri, the state capital, asked all Nigerians to set aside their religious and cultural differences and strive to entrench the tenets of nationalism.
We must de-emphasize on those things that separate us and emphasize more on the things that unite us. The language that divides us and the tribe that divides us cannot be equal to that force that unites us. And that's where I stand. And I want Nigerians to see themselves as Nigerians, irrespective of religion and tribal background.
Let's take a look at some sports for the day. Here's Charles Eruka.
This is the ultimate redefined for men.
Welcome to Sports News. National Under-23 coach Samson Siasia wants to have Manchester City's Kelechi Iheanacho and Liverpool's signing Taiwo Awoniyi in his team for the 2015 Under-23 African Cup of Nations to be hosted by Senegal. Both players missed out on the African Games, where the country picked the bronze medal after their club sides held onto them because the competition was not on the FIFA calendar. The coach is hoping the team can seal a Grade A friendly against Brazil's Under-23 team before heading for the competition. Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise has explained the criteria behind the invitation of 24 players for the next month's double-header international friendlies against Congo and Cameroon in Belgium. Coach Olise last week handed recalls to Mikel Obi and Victor Moses in his 24-man list, while captain and first-choice goalkeeper Vincent Enyama returned after missing the games against Tanzania and Niger Republic. Olise says he's searching for players to build his team around. And in England, Arsenal have won the appeal against Gabriel Paulista's sending off during the 2-0 defeat to Chelsea. The centre-back was dismissed for kicking Diego Costa during Saturday's ill-tempered clash at Stamford Bridge. However, the Football Association announced in a statement today that it has accepted Arsenal's challenge to the decision. Scotland and rugby players say they are fully prepared to face Japan in their Rugby World Cup Pool B match in Gloucester. Scotland are favourites to win the Pool B clash, but Japan have become fan favourites after their stunning victory against South Africa.
We've been watching Japan for a long time, and we always knew they're an exceptional team. I think their players across the board are really good. They're well coached, they're well conditioned, and it was a great result for them. So I think the thing that, from our point of view, that we knew they were a good side, and they showed that on the weekend. They've got dangers all over the park, so we're very aware of that. We understand them. They've got a really high skill set. So again, like I said, we're going to have to be at our best defensively to combat that. The scrum, they have got a very good scrum, but so have we. We worked really hard on it, and we've also looked at their individuals and the way to counteract them as well. They come off the back of the scrum really well, so there's rules around that and how the number 8 binds and things like that, so we're aware of that as well.
International Olympic Committee members have attended the groundbreaking ceremony of the Athletes' Village for the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea ahead of the 5th meeting of the IOC Coordination Commission. The Athletes' Village is scheduled to be built along with 600 apartment units, according to the local organizing committee. The Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic Winter Games will be held from February the 5th to the 25th in 2018, and it will be Asia's first Winter Olympics outside of Japan. That's it on Sports News. Ijoma will be back shortly with the rest of the news at 10.
This is the ultimate redefined for men.
Now, European Union Interior Ministers have approved a controversial plan to relocate 120,000 migrants across the continent over the next 2 years. It'll see migrants moved from Italy, Greece and Hungary to other EU countries. Here's Cynthia Are with more.
Well, thank you. The army has ordered anti-coup protesters in the Burkina Faso capital to return home amid fears of fighting. General Diendere seized power last week with the backing of the Presidential Guard, but the army has remained loyal to the deposed government. Then European Union ministers are meeting to try to resolve a dispute over how to relocate 120,000 asylum seekers who have recently arrived in Europe. Some Central European states have resisted calls for EU members to accept mandatory quotas. Whatever is decided, the UN says the EU's plans will not be enough. Finally, South African President Jacob Zuma has launched an investigation into the police chief's role in the 2012 killing of 34 miners by officers during a strike over pay. South Africa's worst police killing since the end of apartheid sparked intense public and media criticism towards the police, mining companies, unions, the ruling African National Congress, and President Zuma himself. That's the Foreign News Wrap-Up. It's back to you, Ijoma.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. And the main news again. The Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has appeared before the Code of Conduct Tribunal and has pleaded not guilty. The tribunal chairman has allowed the Senate President to go on self-recognition and adjourned sitting to October the 21st through to the 23rd. The former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has defended the armed forces of Nigeria on allegations of extrajudicial killings and has demanded an apology for the army from Amnesty International. And ECOWAS heads of state have ended meeting in Abuja over Burkina Faso coup and ordered the military junta to hand over power to the civilian administration. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Good night.